Alright, you guys have all seen unboxing of these kits. I'm gonna do one. Probably not necessary, but I just want to see if I can do it. Practice filming and going through all this stuff. So this is a thin line Telecaster. I'll open it up and show you everything here. We'll get to it. Alright, so we're going to unbox this kit. Make sure all the parts are here. Take a quick look, and you should always check and make sure that there's no damage or any weirdness to your kit before you do anything to it. There's a slight chance that you might have to send it back. This company's supposed to be pretty good with their quality, so but definitely check and make sure everything's there and that everything looks good. We're going to do that here. So let's chop this open. Alright, pretty standard packaging. Pick guard. Looks good. Stop. Don't do anything quite yet. So, bag full of electronics. We'll go through this more closely. Let's take a look at the body here. Oh, free pick. Thin line Tele. It's got a maple cap. I'm assuming it's basswood on the back. It's got some pretty good grain. It looks maybe 3 pieces, but it goes together pretty well. I'm sure that a little bit of stain, it'll look good. It's a bit rough. It's got a sealer on it, so we're going to sand it down before we do any kind of finishing to it. But looks good. We'll go around closer, look at all the binding, make sure that it's all well seated. Just a quick glance, looks pretty good. We'll put the hardware on and see, make sure everything fits before we do too much here. But everything looks pretty darn good. It certainly needs some sanding on the end grain here, but that's to be expected. This one's got maple neck. Already shaped headstock. Kind of wish this was a paddle, but maybe I didn't look close enough when I ordered it. It's fine. Tele's not my favorite headstock, but we'll make it work. Neck looks pretty good. We'll have to go through, and it definitely needs sanding. Go through, make sure all the frets are good. This actually feels pretty good on the fret ends. We'll have to look and see how they are level wise, but they look like they've been at least worked on a bit. So it's got a sealer on the entire neck, so we'll have to sand that off. Neck holes are pre-drilled. There's a chance that these position markers might be painted on there, so we'll have to sand the sealer off. We'll have to be semi-careful, but we'll go from there. This plastic nut's probably going to have to go, but that's just personal preference. I'm sure it's usable. You just have to make sure that when you do the setup, you're doing fine. This neck's got pretty good. I don't know if the lighting's good enough to see the grain, but it should come up pretty good. We'll give it a little bit of color in the stain, but I want to keep it mostly a light color, but might get a little, try to get a little grain out of it. It's got kind of a, it's wood. Wood's got imperfections. It's fine. There's one spot on the neck that I see here, and you might not be able to see it on the camera, but on the 12th fret marker here, it's got a little bit of a discoloration that might stand out, but we'll see. Yeah, so everything looks good on that. This is the bag o' stuff here. So let's rejig here, and we'll take a look at the parts. Alright, got our bag of stuff. Cable, couple Allen wrenches. One of these probably is for the neck, the other one's for the height adjustment on the bridge. I don't know if that cable's any good. It's probably good for testing or something on the workbench. Couple pots, three-way switch, just like the end jack here. So this is the majority of the wiring for the pick guard. This is bridge with the pickup already attached. It seems, decent quality, maybe not up to Fender USA specs, but it's a pretty weighty piece. It should be fine for what we're doing here. There's things that can always upgrade, and it's not super expensive to get better stuff, so we will set this one aside. Guitar strings. I mean, I don't think anybody actually uses these. They're probably good for when you're initially setting stuff up or measuring or making sure that things line up correctly. But I would imagine that most people have something that they prefer, and we'll go with that directly. Neck plate and screws. Again, seems fine. I don't really have any experience with these plastic plates in between the neck plate, but we'll go with it. This is the neck pickup and its mounting hardware. Take it out of there. Basically, Telecaster chrome cover neck pickup. This is the hardware for that pickup, pickguard screws, and the strap buttons. Couple Telecaster knobs. Just metal knobs you would get on a Tele. And then tuners. No name. Kind of just standard tuners. They're a little, It might just need a little fiddling. I'll have to see once they get mounted in there if you need an upgrade on these, but they'll certainly do the trick to start with. You can get really good tuners for pretty cheap. You might want locking tuners or staggered tuners for the so you don't have to have string trees, but we'll go with these to begin with. And this is just all mounting hardware for the tuners. So, looks like we've got everything. Let's do a quick mock-up here, and we'll see how everything sets up.